Hello and welcome to Research Department episode 3. This is all written beforehand because English is not my main language. I apologize if some mistakes do happen by my translation part. So let's get on to the video. The British biplane Fairey Swordfish and the German biplane Fieseler Fi-167. What are they and how they got here? This was supposed to be comparing each other, which one has more advantages and disadvantages. But then I decided to not try to compare which one could be better, because there are things to take a big note, like their use in World War II, designed role to do, but in the end not being able to do that designed role, etc. In-game is another thing, and we as a human being, we all have our own different opinions in all the matter, or we sometimes agree with each other. Also, in games every character has their own stats, which also affects the performance of these planes. But as the question was, how did they got here? Let's start with Fairey Swordfish. Fairey Swordfish was designed and built in the mid-1930s to replace the Greek Fairey 3F aircraft. The first flight was made in 1934, and the aircraft type entered service with the British Navy in 1936. This biplane torpedo bomber was known for its durability and versatility, even though its exterior was outdated at the beginning of World War II. In terms of technical specifications, the Swordfish was about 10.87 meters long and had a wingspan of 30.87 meters. The engine was a single-row pistol Pegasus 3M.3 radial engine with an output of approximately 690 horsepower. That's in kilowatts, 515. The Swordfish top speed was about 220 kilometers an hour, and its range was up to 880 kilometers at best. Plane's hull was built with fabric-covered metal frame and metal strings. Now is the German biplane Fieseler Fi-167. The Fieseler Fi-167 was a German biplane torpedo bomber and reconnaissance aircraft, the design of which began in 1937 at the Fieseler factories at the request of the German Navy. The first flight took place in 1938, and the aircraft type was intended to operate from aircraft carriers. About the technical data, the Fi-167 was about 11.5 meters long and had a wingspan of about 15 meters. The machine was powered by a single-row Daimler-Benz DB601 liquid engine with an output of approximately 1,100 horsepower, 820 kilowatts. It was capable of carrying torpedo or, alternatively, bombs and had a top speed of 325 kilometers per hour. 325 kilometers per hour, just in case I got something wrong. The range of the Fi-167 has currently been up to 1,300 kilometers. Also, it was designed to be an all-metal biplane type aircraft. Its intended use was torpedo and bombing attacks on aircraft carriers, such as the Graf Zeppelin, and reconnaissance flights at sea. The aircraft was built to be particularly sturdy, and its flight characteristics allowed for short takeoff and landing flights, which was essential for aircraft carrier use. Eventually, the German aircraft carrier program failed, and the Fi-167s never reached their original role, but were used to some extent in other missions. Now, to be fair, as much as I would like to add more details and whatnot, I decided to keep it short, just time. But please do tell me in the comments below if I mistranslated something. Now we have some background information about why they have been built, but now how they are balanced in the Azur Lane. Let's start with the Fairey Swordfish. It is the oldest plane this far. On paper, Type 3/Elite has 25 aviation, plane health 92, rate of fire 11.97 seconds per wave, speed is 45, dodge limit 4, crash damage 306, AA guns 2, 7.7, machine gun, tier 3, damage 27, and the torpedoes 2, torpedo common, tier 3, damage 300, mods go from light to heavy, 80, 110, 130. Of course, we have also 818 Squadron from Ark Royale, the same who struck Bismarck rudder, only in core data exchange. It is super rare, aviation 45, plane health 112, rate of fire 10.97, speed 48, dodge limit 7, crash damage 420. AA gun is the same, but damage is 31. And torpedoes 3, torpedo 818 Squadron, damage is 312. The extra is the enemy who gets hit from this torpedo. It decreases its speed by 60% for 8 seconds. Now we go to the Iron-Blood Fieseler Fi-167. It is an elite torpedo bomber. Aviation 25, plane health 92, rate of fire 11.44 per wave, speed 48, dodge limit 1, crash damage 152, AA guns 2 7.92mm MG Tier 0, damage 23, torpedoes 2 torpedo ironclad Tier 3, damage is 244, damage modifiers from light to heavy 80, 110, 130. Now on practice, Swordfish is easy to get, but to get FI-167, you need to gain resources from daily challenges and Operation Siren. On the performance side, it seems like if you want some pure damage, Swordfish is/are better choice. But let's just say you want to aim and hit. FI-167 aims its torpedoes directly to the enemy. The only downside is, if the enemy is destroyed while torpedoes are on their way, that's a perfect miss. While Swordfish goes forward and wider area, like taking lots of mob enemies on the screen. They really don't need to be aimed. It seems in the end, Fieseler FI-167 is a performance side. In honesty, a bad plane in my opinion. In theory, if the plane was in action during World War II, like hundreds of them, not just 14, and used in Craft Zeppelin, perhaps there could have been more in stats and history. Also, you need this plane to build super rare chunker torpedo bomber to replace it, so it does not go to waste. While Swordfish was showing to the world that a do not judge the book only by its cover. It even got a nickname Stringback. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.